And then once they're inside, they can continue to wear if they so desire to do so.
Well, that was New York City Mayor Eric Adams speaking last week on the rise in crime. He's calling for shoppers to remove their masks before entering a store so that people could see who you are. Joining us right now is former NYPD lieutenant and law enforcement professor at Pace University, Darren Porcher. Darren, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks very much. And unfortunately, the crime spike is elevated across the country.
You're absolutely right. And this should really be a harbinger for Democrats as it relates to what happened with Lori Lightfoot in Chicago, that when you recede on the protections afforded by police, you will experience a meteoric rise in crime. And when we speak to the testament of Eric Adams' policy in connection with having store owners confront patrons and having them remove their masks, it now puts them in a position where they're more subjected to a conflict. And these are not armed individuals, meaning these store owners. So we're going to see a greater conflict in connection with this policy that he's introduced.
You know, the other thing is that the officers do not feel like the leadership in this country has their backs. I mean, Darren, NYPD officers are resigning in record numbers. The department reportedly seeing a 117% increase year over year in terms of resignations. You know, remember a year ago, Ron DeSantis in Florida told officers, look, you're not getting the backing you need, come to Florida. Guess what? Many of them did go to Florida. Why are we seeing such high numbers resign in the NYPD?
Well, Maria, I think you hit it on the first component, and that's basically the police officers don't feel that they have the support that's necessary.
Right.
In essence, the NYPD has become a launch pad for training for other departments, and we've seen this come to fruition in places like Florida and other counties that pay more and provide more protections for law enforcement officers that are leaving the NYPD.
But, Darren, is it more about the DAs? I mean, look, we don't have any consequences. You commit a crime, you get processed, you're back on the streets, you're committing more crimes. Criminals know this, that there's no consequences. That's the fault of the DA and the wide open lack of law, total lawlessness when it comes to consequences. Bail reform.
It's twofold. It's twofold. As you mentioned, the bail reform is a significant component, whereas we're operating a catch and release stream. The second component is the DAs prosecuting a lot of these offenses. I'll give you an example. We look at Alvin Bragg. Many people feel that there needs to be a recall and he needs to be removed from office. And when we look at what happened in San Francisco, that was a credible action. George Gascon is doing the same thing in Los Angeles. I think that the district attorneys in the city of New York are providing a less than adequate response to the crimes that are overall just taking us under siege here as New Yorkers. And something needs to happen, and it needs to happen now. And the person that can do it is Governor Hochul, but she's hiding behind the sheets and not taking appropriate action.
Yeah, she doesn't want to do it, apparently. Darren, it's good to have you. Thanks very much.